Hey everyone, welcome to the PGA on DKTV. I'm the U.S. Sports Ambassador Wade McElwain. Joining me, Edo Delamonte and Jamie HInks, who's back this week as well. We're talking PGA. We are talking golf. The Shell Houston Open. Of course, you're going to associate oil with Texas. Big one. Last week was the Puerto Rico Open, and this one, Troy Finau. This kid, 26 years old, booming drive, comes from behind. We had Ian Poulter was winning it, and then loses it. What happened there, Edo? Explain the tournament.
Well, basically, Tony finally managed to break through, and people are very happy for him. He's a big hitter, and he's been doing really well of late, and finally he managed to bring it all together. But we did actually laugh at sort of the lineup.
There's a lot of names in it, and there was he was playing Steve Marino, who sounds like a backup of a backup quarterback in the NFL. He beat Steve Marino in a 3-hole playoff and ends up winning, so it's pretty exciting. But Ian Poulter, you follow the tournament, Jamie? Did you watch it at all?
I watched a bit of the match play, but I didn't watch the Poulter.
The match play was good. Jason Day, obviously on a roll, back to back. You know, and people are getting ready for the Masters. But there were some big names in it. It was a pretty good playoff. What did you think of the?
I think Day. I think he'll be the first name in my Masters lineup, which salaries are out now. So
yes,
he's 11,600, which isn't the most expensive out there, and I think him or Adam Scott would be my two guys right off the bat who might be in contention.
Jamie's jumping the gun before we even get to the Masters.
I just thought I'd mention it because the salaries came. I was excited, and I was like,
the salaries are out, and just like kids at Christmas or kids at Easter or kids whenever the Masters happen, all the salaries are up for the PGA. The Masters DraftKings giving away over $4 million, including a $1 million prize. What? $1 million? You could win it just by playing DraftKings? Get out and do it. So, let's start talking about this week. The Houston Open, $6.8 million in the purse. We're at the Golf Club of Houston, as it would seem, 7,400 yards, par 72. JB Holmes wins it. Give us a little breakdown of this course, Edo. What do you know about this one?
Well, so apparently it's only the 41st hardest course on the PGA Tour, but... Yeah, exactly. I know. I was like, someone wrote that, and I went, oh, yeah. So there are elements of Augusta, basically, like the runoffs aren't easy, some of the greens aren't the best.
Sure.
But it doesn't play that long. It will on Thursday because of the rain. So thunderstorms are forecast, so watch out. Friday will be horrific wind. The weekend, perfect. Wonderful Texas weather.
Obviously, always bigger in Texas, bigger weather, bigger skies. Jamie, anything you're prepared for this?
I think in this one, especially from what I was reading earlier, I think you need to be careful of players that pull out when they're doing badly in this, especially ones that are playing at Augusta, because if they're having a couple of bad rounds, they could just pull out straight away, and then you're stuck on your DraftKings lineup if you've got them in your lineup because you've only got 5 golfers going through.
Mostly pulling out is something people are really good at or really bad at. I'm bad. I got a kid. Anyway, so you're right about that. It's a last chance saloon pretty much for a lot of golfers, isn't it? This is like the last thing before the Masters. Some people are like, oh, it's a prep for the Masters, but it's only been Sandy Lyle and Mickelson who's actually ever won it back to back. So there's no people that actually repeat. And he was just saying with the course, but there's a load of short par 4s on this as well.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy because that's really good for birdies and really good for DraftKings. You look at some of the guys to watch: Spieth, Stenson, Johnson, Fowler, Mickelson. I mean, there's a final prep for the 33 players that are going into the Masters, and obviously one qualifying spot here. What do you know? There's a few guys resting. Obviously, Day's going to take it off. But who are we looking for here? I mean, you know, we're all going to go through our picks. There's going to be some of the big guys. But let's get into our picks. And I'm going to start with Edo. Edo, get into me your first pick. Bang it down. Throw it on the table. Who's your first guy? 6 players, $50,000. Give me number 1.
Throw it on the table. We're back
Throw it
to
on the
Hooters.
table. We are back in. Boom. There you go.
Ran the kisser. No, Henrik Stenson.
Stenson.
At 10.8.
Big Swede right there. Throw it down. There you go. Yeah, he's playing consistent golf right now.
Exactly. And I completely agree with what you were saying. The idea that people could get demotivated and be like, well, Augusta's next week, so what do I care? Stenson seems more consistent. He plays less. So that's why I think I'm going to go for him. And he's done really well. So Valspar tied for 11th, tied for 3rd at the Arnold Palmer. And I just like that price as well. And I think he'll be just a little bit less owned than some of the other guys up there. People have doubts about Spieth, but he'll still get into the 20s, if not higher. I think Stenson could actually fly just a tad under the radar, and that's what I want.
And you know what? Swedish efficiency right there. He's actually, he'll put it together. He can build it like IKEA, right? Jamie, what about you? Who you got number 1?
We've already heard about him once today, Tony Finau.
Oh, yes.
Just won in Puerto Rico.
So you're just taking the Finau because he's actually, when you look at his driving, 302 yards driving per average. He's actually one of the top in the PGA.
Exactly.
This kid can boom it.
And I think you'll want players that are going to hit long here. He's only 8,100, which is very cheap.
Yeah.
Plus, there's been already 2 people that have done back-to-back in the last month. I think Scott and Day have both gone back-to-back. Like, why can't he go back-to-back? I mean, it's not the most competitive.
He's 26-year-old, Finau, but yeah, I mean, I get it. But do you think his value has gone up? Because last week, what would he have been before he won Puerto Rico? I mean, he probably would have been like $4,000 or something like that.
Yeah, he would have been lower, but yeah, I think that was his first ever PGA Tour title.
Okay.
Last week, so I think he could go on from there and really push on, and maybe this week will be his week. I'm happy to take the gamble on him at that price.
Very good. I will go with my first pick because I'm in it too. And I lost last week to Edo. What do you got? 378 points and I got 332 because I will always take John Daly. I just love him. I love you, man. I know it's daily fantasy points. They're my daily fantasy points. I choose John Daly, and I always will. He's not playing this weekend. He's in a chicken wing eating contest in Chattanooga. I'm betting on him. My pick. The lefty, Phil Mickelson, 10,500 first pick. He's won it in 2011, 5 top finishes, solid player. He hasn't been as consistent as he should have been lately, but Tiger's out of the picture. His nemesis is gone. I like Phil. He's always played well here. Phil Mickelson, on my list. All right, number 2, Jamie. Let's go through your second guy.
I've gone lefty as well.
All right, yeah, in your face, Edo. Suck a big stone. I don't even know what that means.
I like the fact, I think he's nicely priced this week. He's not above 1,000, which isn't, 10,500. I like that. He's been in good form of late. And I mean, it's a good sort of lead up for him to then win his 4th green jacket.
Well, yeah, that's, I don't know about
Which
that.
I'm not guaranteeing at all.
No, but people like that. A lot of people are on the mixer.
I think he's great. He's playing competitive.
Yep.
He's got that dad bod rocking on there now that he's playing all up in his shape. And yeah, he's
done very well here in the past.
This is his course. I like him. Here. Jamie, good pick. Good pick, Jamie.
He's worked on his putting
Better
technique.
impress me, Edo. Impress me.
JB Holmes?
Oh, yes. All right.
Love it.
JB Holmes. Great porn name. And also, didn't he win last year? So you're going back-to-back winner, kind of looking for it.
Yeah, and but especially because his stats don't really match up to the course, but he always plays really well here.
Yeah.
And he's been playing really well of late. Tied for 11th at the Northern Trust. At 28th at the match play, so he was good. He wasn't amazing, but I really like how he's playing at the moment, and he really is confident here. And if I'm not mistaken, he's played a lot around here. If I'm not mistaken, he's a local. So
he shot like a 64 last year, too, something like that. Like something crazy on the course. It was a playoff. Because this is one of those courses, though, that people, unlike some of the other ones, you can actually get some really low scores in this course. You know, because it is those par 4s, and if you start birdieing, you get on that birdie machine, you're going to do very well. I've chosen my second player. Good Canadian guy right there, Graham DeLate, 8,700. Played well. 11th place last week. You know, a lot of people tipped him to do better, but he's still playing well. He's made the cut 4 of the past 5 times. He strikes the ball well. His status is rising. He's Canada's next great hope. Graham DeLate, you're on my list. All right, number 3, Edo. What do you got? Impress me.
I don't like the 8K range very much, so I've basically just gone straight for the 7s and stuck by Scott Brown. I don't know, the voice went a bit high, but Scott Brown, because he's... Scott Brown, I know, I always say it, and then I go, obviously, but, yeah, and I love Scott Brown, the football player, before his legs just gave in.
Yes.
But, yeah, and I like the golfer, too. I just think he's been playing so well, and... Again, at 7.9, I think that's a really good price.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good average.
A lot of the guys in the 8s, I go, you're not going to do better than Scott Brown. Again, the stats do not match up, and his history here is not great, but I do think that he's coming on at the moment, and he's the kind of guy who'll end up in the top 25.
All right, that's your third pick, Jamie. Impress me with your third pick.
Cheeky Charlie Hoffman.
Oh, hey.
It's a Tuesday.
Love it.
Cheeky. 8,400.
Yes.
8 of 8 in terms of making the cut at this course. 4 top 25s. Yeah, he had a poor start to the year, but he's kind of picking it up now. Yeah. And I think nice price as well.
I think Jamie has just made one of the greatest picks because that's also my third pick, Charlie Hoffman. The guy, he got blown at the match play, but you know what? He's played. What is it? He's played in this. He's made the weekend cut 9 out of 10 times in this tournament. The guy's going to make the weekend. So is he going to win? Maybe not. but you want those guys that are going to get that value play. Jamie made a good play, and Charlie Hoffman, you're on my list too. Cool. Okay, Jamie, since you're doing so well, hit me with your number 4 one. Who you got?
I'm going with Johnny Vegas.
Oh, Johnny Vegas.
Johnny Vegas.
Yes, Johnny
Jonathan
Vegas.
5,700.
He is he's a bargain, but he's a great striking ball guy. Tell me why you chose this guy.
He always makes the cut when I pick him.
Does he?
And he's my reliable guy that I just, every time I see him in there and I'm like, oh, I need to get some money from somewhere. Johnny Vegas is the man. 72.5% greens in regulation as well, which is above average for the tour.
Yeah, that's really good. 5,700. That's
I was
really
struggling to find a stat on it.
And it's not like he's a huge hitter. He's an accurate hitter, though, too.
Yeah,
so
he's
he's going to be one of those guys that's going to hit the greens, get you in there, and sort of be able to play that. And it's a good choice.
Yep.
Edo, who's your 4th pick?
Okay, Patton Kizzire. I'm sticking by my guy. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's way past time that we call him just the guy who's good at putting. He's just been playing really well at the moment.
He hasn't been. It's just getting those top 10 finishes, which you see him in there.
Yeah.
It's Kizzire is one of those guys that you're just wondering when he's actually going to move to that next level.
Exactly.
And hopefully this will be the one.
And that's what's keeping his price down. But the 24th in birdie average, as you said here, if you get on a hot streak, this is the kind of course, last year I think Holmes was 16 under. He won a 3-player playoff. So, that's the kind of score that Kizzire can get.
Well, that's a good pick. I'm going to go for my pick, my 4th pick, Billy McGirt. You're on the list. William McGirt, 7,200. 3rd under, 67, tied for 8th at Honda. You only missed a cut at Puerto Rico, but you know what? That's achieved. You missed a cut at Puerto Rico. Come on.
Yeah.
He's just sort of playing.
Okay.
And he's on track to play the best of his career so far. I mean, this is, the guy who's in his 30s. He's playing well. Dirty Willie McGirt, as his lovely sister Gert McGirt, she's known to lift up her skirt, as the limerick goes. I don't know. I like limericks. Anyway, Willie McGirt, you're on the list. All right, let's go, Jamie. 5th pick. Who do you got?
Brendan de Jong from the fine country of Zimbabwe.
Yes, he is a very Zimbabwean. Playing all right.
Basically what I did, I looked at the last 2 years of this tournament. That flag kept showing up, that different flag to all the American flags down there. And I thought, he's had tied 37th, tied 5th in 2 visits here. He's made 7 out of 14 cuts this season. I like his price, and he made the cut at Puerto Rico. Yeah. So.
Yes, he did. Yeah, playing
and
up
he's, 6,000.
Zimbabwean. He's 6,700 or 6,200 actually, pretty value. So yeah.
Yeah, you had him last week.
I did have him last week. I did play, and I did choose him. I did chosen him in my lineup.
And what did you think?
I was impressed. He rode well. He was good, shifting gears. I felt really good. I felt good taking him home. Yeah. Yes, I would take him home again. Edo, who are you taking home with you?
Dirt McGirt.
Dirt McGirt.
Flacco, put him in the McGirt. Love that guy. And yeah, people are going to hate him because he got cut at Puerto Rico. And it was he was 10,200? That's a silly price. I mean, for a tournament like that, I thought neither of us took him, and for good reason. Yeah. Now is the time to take him.
7,200, I think is good. I think that if golfers were to have jerseys with your names on the back, it would be some good names, but I think McGirt would be one I would want.
Yeah.
I would
get much better.
I would go with McGirt. All right, so that was your 5th pick. My 5th pick, the guy who sounds like he should be the backup of a backup quarterback, 2nd place last week, Steve Marino. Steve Marino's playing all right. Made the playoffs. He played well. He was like 54th in the world in 2011, and then he was crippled with injuries. But I think a guy, he's a little older, coming back. You know what? When you play a tournament and you come in 2nd, you're fired up. You're like, yeah, I'm coming next week. And I think he's going to make the cut. He's $6,100. And Steve Marino, no relation to Dan. Okay, Edo, 6th pick. Let's go. Let's bring him down. Who is our last guy you picked on your team, on your roster, filling your DraftKings roster, meaning 50,000?
Yeah, success in Europe is so far translated when he has played in North America to success in North America. So Bernd Wiesberger at 7,000 because I love him and because I think he's done really well and he's proved he can play at this kind of level. And I think this is the kind of tournament he'll shine at and then be able to take that kind of form into the Masters. In fact, I would roster him at the Masters already.
Plus, his name sounds like something you would send back at a restaurant. Hi, I've got this Bernd Wiesberger. I'd like it returned.
never see it again.
Yeah, Bernd Wiesberger 7,000, not bad. Yeah, he's playing all right.
I'm a fan of that price, I've got to be honest. The 7K range I've fallen in love with. I mean, yeah, it's a bit morbid maybe, but, you know, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know if morbid is the right when falling in love with 7,000, but hey, I'm sure there's something out there. If you know it, make a comment. Jamie, he's in love with the Wiesberger, and he's in love with 7,000. What have you got? Who's your sixth guy?
I'm in love with Shrek. Louis
Shrek!
Oosthuizen.
Oh.
10,200. I saved a big guy for the end.
Yeah.
He's been playing
He's
well.
been playing so well.
Come on, this
Mr.
guy's
Consistency
banging.
in 2016.
Yes.
6 top 15s in the last 7 starts. Made the final at the match play. And lost to Jason Day, who's absolutely on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think 3 career top 20s at this course, and he had a solo third once. So yeah.
He's one of those guys you think he's going to make the top 20. Like,
Yeah.
he's at least going to make the top 20 in it, and he's very consistent.
You think he'll make the top 20 here, and then even the top 20 at the Masters,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, it's...
Yeah. Well, my sixth pick was only because on DraftKings you've got to spend the amount of money that you have, and then you look and you go, hey, all those guys in red I can't have. I'll go for the first name in black. And the first name in black, the money that I had left, Charles Howell III. Tied for fifth at Valspar. He's playing consistently enough. 8,900. I had 9,100. Yeah, I could have shifted my lineup around and tried to find an extra space for that 200. No, you know what? It's a tip. Charles Howell III on the lineup. So that's the picks. We got all of our picks in. Let's take a look at everyone's picks. You make your own picks on DraftKings. Let's take a look at Edo's first. Henrik Stenson, John Bradley, JB Holmes.
I would do that was his name.
I did, yeah.
John Bradley.
Oh, double-barreled names.
JB, yeah.
Scotty Brown, Patton Gazaire, Will McGirt, and Bernd Wiesberger for total. So pretty average, some good range. You got 4 guys in the 7,000 here. Big money on Henrik Stenson. Let's go on to Jamie. Jamie's blowing some big wad around here on the 10-5, giving you the shocker right there with Mickelson and Oosthuizen. Brendan de Jong, Johnny Vegas, and Tony Finau. Very good. I mean, if Finau can repeat, and obviously Johnny Vegas is the one you're looking for there. And let's take a look at my winning lineup, the one that's going to win. The late Mickelson, Hoffman, McGirt, Marino, and Howell III. Oh yeah, I'm feeling good about it. All my low money on Stevie Marino. You can do it, Stevie. If you want to make your own lineup, sorry for kicking you. If you want to make your own lineup, normally I do that for like when I'm trying to move on. Boof. If you want to make your own lineup, go to DraftKings.co.uk. Find the PGA. Lots of tournaments going on. Make your own tournament. 6-man roster, 50,000. Of course, look, as Jamie was mentioning, we have our Masters lineups. You can win $1 million. Get ready for the Masters. We will be doing a lot of videos next week talking about the Masters as well, so be prepared for that. Hey, it's DraftKings. Make your own lineup. You could win big. Welcome to the big time.